Yes, let's go.
Too hot for you to get. Top-notch Buddha says, I rock who is next. Do your vest. Far as rock, yep, stocks I do invest. Commended God body with the Shaka Zulu chest.
Let's go.
Give a rat's ass who you get. Don't let the koofy fool you. I'm no sci-fi Hulu bet. I ain't new to this. Let her do that bullshit or that you do yet.
Let's go.
Or that you do yet. Get to do that bullshit or that you do yeah. A-I-J, call it a spade here. Did a movie, hit the chart, still move like I ain't care.
Yeah.
Body the Apollo if you ain't here. First rapper on the Nile, it's all in the same year.
Type shit.
Goofy motherfuckers got the right one. Main one to bring the pressure to the icons when the right's on. The investment looking bright on. Tell Jada Applejack Soggy got the bites on. Now your main thing bending like a body blow.
Yes.
Cause the slow flow motherfucking diabolical. Bet against J-Boy, that's a foolish bet. Still ain't do that bullshit or that you do yet.
This how we coming on 2025, baby. Them no
Still
ready.
ain't do that bullshit or that you do yet.
All that you do yet.
Still ain't do that bullshit or that you do yet.
Drop colors, the man in the mirror. Stayed on my grind, now the vision more clearer. New day coming, new sound of the funky drummer. OG vibes moving weight in my slumber.
Let's go.
Lyrically crash out, still keep it humble. Devin Hester, run it back, no fumble.
Shout out to homie
Strong on the
Snooze.
stage, move weight with pure muscle. Aim is to touch you, black out, no stun double. Pivot the block, my ambition is to bubble. Upgrade the Porsche, still living it subtle. Stack dough as the team breaks the huddle. In my prime, so it's myself and the hustle. Make commas move zeros. Now I got the cheat code. Mistress on 6-way fade for all heroes. Warriors vibe, chill, my ancestors fly. We the hottest motherfuckers alive.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Shout out to everybody in the feed. I see you. Come on in. Put them nines up. Let me know where you at, where you from. You already know it's your boy Jamaar Milton in 5/5. Welcome back. I know it's 12 noon. It's an awkward hour, but we here. And we're talking about Admiral Byrd today. Make sure you smash that like, share, subscribe button. Let's get it live. Let's get to the top of the feed today. Ain't nobody else talking what we talking at the time that we talking it. So come on in. Let's get it cracking.
Can I say something?
What up,
real
bro?
quick, please? Yo, first off, I just need to acknowledge. I've never heard that song like that. That song was gas, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Word.
I mean, you're making it easy to make it honest, bro. That shit was even the beat. I really want to hear that song a couple of more times during the street. That shit was gas, bro.
I mean, we outside with it. We're outside. That's that record. It hasn't dropped yet. Y'all the first ones to hear it. Those of y'all that's listening right now, it's called Yet, and that's featuring my dude Snooze Daily. The next project is gonna have a whole lot of dope stuff like that on it. You know, that has a real, like, I don't know, it just reminds me of like a Jay-Z and Kanye type feel, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really like the energy coming off that. But yeah, that's coming real soon. We just shot the video the other day, so y'all know I always preview my releases on here because they won't flag them if I haven't dropped it yet. So y'all get to hear all the good stuff before I even get to drop it. So expect that on the new project. Those of y'all that's willing to go and cop that. So today, important conversation because a lot of people have been discussing flat Earth, right? You guys, excuse me, I'm sucking down these cough drops real quick. Pause. But in any case, a lot of people have been talking to flat Earth conversation, and I think it's important that I tap into this because I think my perspective is a lot more grounded than a lot of most people when talking flat Earth. We've seen a lot of discussions as of lately between about Lord Jamar and his situation with what's his name, Brother Dave, something like that. That debate.
Well, Brother Dave, right? That's what it was.
That's his name, Brother Dave.
Right, Brother Dave is what I think it was.
Something Dave. Hold on.
Something like, but everybody know.
Everybody know. So let me give you my view on this, right? When we're dealing with flat earth, there's levels to it. First, what we need to do is we need to establish, why is this still being talked about? If everything that they say is true, right, and exact, why are we still even having the discussion, right? It should just merely just be dismissed like anything else when it's untrue, right? But clearly, it's been able to galvanize millions and millions of people to say, hey, maybe we do need to revisit this in some shape, form, or fashion. So, what I wanted, my contention is to let you guys know that it's not as clear cut and dry as people think when they say, oh, I believe that the earth is flat and we're on like a disc and you fall off it or whatever it is. What it does do, however, is it opens up conversations, which is the most important conversation, which is the conversation of more lands possibly being out there that we have yet to discover. Okay? Or that we have discovered, we're just not allowed to go to and actually have access to. Does that make sense? So now when we look at this, right, especially with the flat earth situation, there is a guy who goes by the name of Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd. And let me see if I can pull up a picture of this guy real quick.
Well, hold up a second. Let me present that a little bit better.
Let's go.
There's a guy that was an admiral, and his last name was Byrd. His name is an admiral. He was an admiral, and his last name is Byrd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's an important way to say it, actually. Because the point of saying it like that is to let you understand that this guy is well respected. He's well respected in terms of cartography, in terms of traveling the world and informing people of his discoveries and expeditions. This is not a YouTube microwave content dude. This is one who literally puts on the snorkel and goes out into Antarctica and travels the world, North Pole, South Pole. He's been to both of them, and he comes back with the story. Okay. So now this particular individual sat down with a bunch of people who are clearly, journalists of explorers and things of that nature. And he sits down and he tells them, yes, he has traveled to the North and South Poles. And when he's gone to Antarctica, his goal was to establish a base there. And the reason for this base was because he had realized that in his travels that there were extra lands that we were not inhabiting. Now, this is not something that is hidden knowledge. This is what I want to make very, very clear. His story is not hidden knowledge. You can pretty much Google it, chat GPT it, however you want to do, and you can ask it for sources, and it will pull you up all of these sources. I'm going to throw some in the feed for you guys to take a look at today that I have offhand. So if any of you want to go and take a look at him or hear him speak about these extra lands, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the feed. Let me get the link for that, because I think there's some things that people need to see from their own point of view versus someone always stopping you mid-cipher and trying to combat in what it is that you need to grasp your head around. Does that make sense, family? Because a lot of times when there's talking points or viewpoints, it's drowned out by naysayers or people who don't understand. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the back chat for you too, Fifth, for your following. So you can paste it. All right. This is one of the YouTube clips. This is the clip that I'm posting now is Admiral Byrd speaking and letting people know that there are extra lands. Okay, so this is the first source. We're going to really concentrate on sources so you guys can see where all this stuff is coming from. so that we don't just create an echo chamber and you guys just think that I'm just spitting rhetoric. We're going to give you sources. That way you guys on your own, those of you who are really knowledgeable and really into this and like to go ahead and do the due diligence can go ahead and do so. So that's one of the videos of him speaking in reference to the additional lands. Okay. So now when you have an admiral, one who is hired by the United States to do this kind of work, telling you that there is additional lands, and not only is there additional lands, but he doesn't think that these additional lands are going to be by themselves for much longer. He actually on this clip tells the people that Russia is one who was a continent that was highly interested in acquiring this land. He talks about all the other Australia, all the other places that want to go and retrieve this land, or not discover it, but just control it. Okay. And it's interesting because the countries and the continents that he's talking about are literally the ones that we're talking about today in terms of Donald Trump and his relationships and who he's mingling with and some of the people that we might be warring against back and forth. So it's quite interesting to see the correlation and the connection between these continents, even though that they say that the earth is a sphere and we're round and we're on a spinning ball. It's just interesting to see all of them coming after a land, and they've been doing this, that is supposed to be just ice, right? But now Admiral Byrd's story, and I'm going to give you the full story here. He says he had a partner with him and they flew out to Antarctica. And when they flew out to Antarctica, his plane was seized midair. His plane was seized, and all of his electrical functions of his plane were no longer working in his control. It was almost like it was a tracking device, and like what do they call that? Was it a homing device, where they took control of his plane and brought it to them. They had some sort of advanced technology after he had flew a certain distance, right? After he flew past the ice wall, he said his compass started to spin, right? And we know how compasses work. They always point towards the poles. His compass began to spin while he was in flight, to where he no longer knew where he was at some point. He just knew that he was far past the ice wall. And he says his plane was seized with some sort of homing device, or tracking device rather, that pulled him in. I'm not using the right word here. What's the right word?
They had some technology that basically commandeered the things that he was using on his airplane and put him like on an auto landing trajectory where he couldn't control his vehicle anymore. They like took it over and put him like on an auto landing. Yeah, there is.
I can't remember what it's called. They say it all the time in like spaceships when they can, But anyway.
Yeah, it's like an auto docking procedure type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much just seized it, right? Like any other automated car, and controlled him to come to their destination. Took control of it, right? So now he gets there, he gets to the destination, and he says he got out of his plane. His partner stayed in the plane. He got out of the plane and he was escorted to a facility where he's going down tractor beam. Thank you, Kenyatta Moultrie. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Sometimes
salute to Kenyatta for being on point. Thank you.
Yeah, it just escaped tractor beam. You know what I mean? All right. So he gets taken to this facility where he's escorted down this hallway where the walls, he said, were vibrating red. Okay, which is very odd. But he said they had like a pulsating light, almost like red. They said, we're going to take you to see the master. Okay, these are the words that he was using. We're going to take you to see the master. And when they took him to see the master down the end of this long hallway or whatever, he said it was a being that was not like us. He said these beings were tall. They had blonde hair and blue eyes, is what he said. Major key. Okay. What some people might say is like Armenian or something like that, whatever you want to call it, or whatever ethnicity that they say that these people are. And they say that it has something to do with the Germans and something to do with Hitler and the Nazis. But we'll talk about that at another time. We don't know the exact where these people come from. But in any case, he gets taken down this hallway. And then the master says, hey, listen, we know who you are. We know your position, and we are concerned about the nuclear warfare and the things that you guys are doing. This is during like World War I, World War II time, around the time when General Byrd is going over there, Admiral Byrd. And he says, we're concerned about nuclear warfare. We're going to let you go back home, but we want you to go back and tell your leader that pretty much he needs to chill with the nuclear shit. Okay. So he gets back in his plane, right, with his partner, and the plane takes off. He's still not in control of his plane. The plane is being operated like remotely somehow. They take off, and when they take off, after hundreds and hundreds of miles of flying, out of nowhere, the tractor beam cuts off, and now he's back in control of his plane and headed back home. Okay. Excuse me. So now this is Admiral Byrd's story of his experience going over the ice wall. Now, fast forward 2025, right? Now we're hearing all of these stories about UAPs and highly advanced technology coming out of the ocean, okay, from this direction. Okay. Government-backed things now. This is not just somebody just saying something. The government is literally saying this, right? So now, when you take all of these stories and you put them together, it makes perfect sense as to why flat Earth is now becoming a discussion right now. Because now we're going back into our subconscious Rolodex and saying, hey, this kind of coincides with what General Byrd was saying as to what he experienced. How after he went over the ice wall, there was advanced technology enough to where it can take over the modern day plane. There was advanced technology enough to where they can survive in a different climate. Another thing that he said was, and I forgot this part, not only did the compass start to spin, but he said all of a sudden the temperature changed to like 82 degrees. 82 degrees. Now, I don't know, but scientifically, if we are heliocentric heads, that's impossible on a globe Earth. There's not enough sun to make Antarctica 32 degrees because of the angle of the sun, if you know the math. So now that is causing globe heads to, get a little bit agitated, and people who didn't understand start to delve into the flat Earth theory a little bit more just to see what's going on here, because it opens up some discussions. According to what Admiral Byrd's experience was, documented, historical document, okay? This is not made up. So there's also conversations, this opens up another conversation other than flat Earth, of what they call hollow Earth. Because upon him going down into this compound, he's talking about how he was going downward into it. People who believe in hollow Earth have said that they've gone into lower depths of the Earth and experienced what they call alien grays, or different species of people that live in the depths of the Earth underground, what they call hollow Earth. Okay. And this is where you get conversations about Asgard, Midgard, all that type of stuff, boom, 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 or layers of the Earth. Okay. So now these discussions are the ones that are being brought to the forefront about what Admiral Byrd said and how this corresponds to flat Earth. The only conversation piece that's being talked about when they talk about flat Earth is the easy stuff like gravity, right? The spinning of the ball, the mathematics, things of that nature. But they don't talk about firsthand experiences of people who have gone above and beyond and far beyond what they say our limitations are on this planet, i.e. Admiral Byrd. He did So the name of that expedition that he did, where he goes over the ice wall, is called Project High Jump. For those of you who want to look it up, I'm going to type it here in the feed as well. Project High Jump. This is all Googleable stuff, so you guys can look along with me. Okay. Project High Jump. He's done many, many expeditions. He didn't just do it one time. He's done many, many expeditions, going right into, I believe it was around World War I. And then in the 1950s, he did a lot more expeditions out there. And he even set up bases. He also, go ahead.
So, all right. Let's just to give a little bit more context. Admiral Byrd was one of the first people to fly over the North Pole.
Yes.
He was one of the first people to talk about how the North Pole has an entrance. He went around and through the North Pole, and that's what brought him to Antarctica, because he felt like he brought so much attention to the North. He felt like there was no space, like it was cluttered. There's so many people. So then he said, well, let me go south. That's how we got towards Antarctica and all that, because he had already did the North. Like, these are so many. And remember, like he said, this isn't a normal person. This is done on the American dollar. He's an admiral. This is part of the military. That he's doing this on the behalf of the military. This isn't no person that's just out there squandering his own money. No. He got military issued airplanes, military issued boat ships. Everything that he's using is military issue compasses. It's all military issue. Just wanted to give a little context. Go ahead, my brother.
That's a super fact. He even, I'm going to bring up an image here so y'all can see it. See if I can get a good image of it. Y'all can go and watch this clip of this thing in action. So he created a vehicle. He created the first snow vehicle that can travel through the ice of Antarctica. The issue was, back then they weren't so great at making these type of things, and he put the wrong tires on it. So I'm gonna show you what we're talking about here, so y'all can see it. Pull it up on ChatGPT. It should come up. Okay. This is the vehicle that he created. Okay. And this thing, I don't know if y'all can see, but the wheels don't have the tread that is necessary to be able to travel through ice. However, this vehicle, you can live on it for, a significant amount of time. You stock it up with everything that you need, your food. It had a lounge area. It even had a dark room for their photos that they were taking of Antarctica, so that they could develop them right there on the ship. Okay. So if you look at this, this guy was very, very serious, and he was highly funded by the American government to go ahead and do these expeditions. But they didn't really know what they were doing just by looking at the tires and what they put on this thing. His tires were like silky smooth. So this actually ended up getting stuck in Antarctica. It's still there, and they've been trying to find it because it got stuck there and frozen in the ice on its way back. It barely made it back to camp. And they've also been searching for his camps that he created. But out there, the weather is so treacherous that the areas that they did find, they found a camp. It was completely buried. I mean, by at least 25 feet of snow, just over the course of time. And it looked like just like a mountain had crushed it. It was in between the top of the mountain and then a whole nother 25 feet of snow under it. So, his stuff is out there and they're trying to recover it. But, of course, they claim they can't get to this area, get to that area. But whatever it is, the important thing about this conversation is to understand how in depth and how well equipped and respected Admiral Byrd was on these expeditions. This was not a little thing, and this was not a freelance type situation. This was backed by the government and these documents. When the government is doing things and they're uncovering stuff, they don't know what they're going to uncover. They fund the project, stuff like this when they're doing worldwide expeditions and stuff. They'll fund the project, but they don't know what they're going to discover. So when they find something or discover something that is completely shell shocking, they can't always just give it right to the public and let the whole world know what it is that they found, especially in a situation like this. Because what if they, for instance, let's give an example. Let's say they did go and discover a new land and Admiral Byrd was correct, right? And these two lands, our land and their land, will now have to discuss, now that we know about each other, how are we going to move forward? They would have to discuss that, because clearly we know how white supremacy is. We know how just human beings in general are. They want to own and take over and rape and pillage everything they possibly can. So they're not just going to let some beings just sit over there and chill that's peaceful, you know what I'm saying, and let them have advanced technology. They running up in there to get that if they know that it's there, right? So that discussion would have to be had at some point in time if they ever had that type of interaction, just from what we know about our own government. Not to mention what their intentions might be, right? Finding out who we are, to even if they wanted to, because they have advanced technology, to subjugate us. So we would have to protect ourselves from being subjugated by an advanced civilization that's right over the ice wall, right? Because we don't know how advanced they are. They might have always been able to come over here if that's the case, if they over there. You understand what I'm saying? So it opens up Pandora's box of questions as to how we respond. How do we delve into this to prove it as being true, right? Because we're not even supposed to have to do that. This is the Admiral. We're supposed to believe what they say, right? It's the American government. Why would we not believe what they say? Why would we now not believe what Admiral Byrd is saying when y'all tell us that these are the people that protect us and serve us and this is who we should follow? Oh, because he found something that you don't want to share to everybody?
Or something you don't agree with.
Yeah, it's something you don't agree with. So now we can't say, we shouldn't trust their word? Are you saying that you have bad seeds in the military?
Hold on, okay. Let me interject real quick. And I know this is just, but let me hold on. Yeah. Let's provide a little bit more context.
Let's go.
Because I know you're real computer savvy. So now, and I know when it's my channel, it's one thing to rely on you. And I know it's a different thing. It's your channel, but we still relying on you. All right. Just want to make it clear. So can you do me a favor? Can you pull up, when did the first globe model pop up? When did they pop that up? Okay. Yeah, like for year wise. And let's find out, when was Admiral Byrd out there doing these missions? What were the dates on these? Because these missions do not coincide with what's projected as the globe model.
Right.
You get what I mean? This mission, right, just him going out. Yeah, just him going out, just somebody saying, yeah, go out there and see what's there, goes against the entirety of the belief of the globe model.
So the first heliocentric model was proposed by a Greek astronomer by the name of Aristarchus.
Not that far.
Samos. Is that how far you can go back?
No. I mean, here. Huh? I mean, here in America, here, like actual, the globe, like on TV, like an actual model of it here in America. Because remember, in America, we didn't believe that at first. Then the TV came out, then they put out the globe and all that. You know what I mean? In the beginning, everybody in America, you couldn't, if you told people in America that the world was round at one point, they thought you were crazy. Now it turned the other way around. Now, if you tell people the world was flat, what everybody always believed to in the beginning of time, I guess, now you're crazy for that. But the actual globe model showed up on a black and white TV. I think it was Disney. I want to say was the first.
Okay, so they're saying by around 1492 when Christopher Columbus got here.
Over there. Okay.
The Americans.
So because a lot of this shit, they say this globe model didn't come out to a certain time, because they tell you that, and it depends on who you're talking to.
Well, it did come out at a certain time, but it was fairly long ago, around,
correct,
around the time when they accepted the Bible too. It was around those times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all about who you're getting the information from. Yeah, and I'll give you a prime example, because in Trump's, we're gonna go with today, right? If you talk to Trump people, they're gonna tell you that the world is round, right? But now you go to the military version, they're gonna show you a flat map,
right?
And they're gonna show you how all their military strategic weaponry, all the bases are on a flat map. It's not on a globe.
Right.
So, like I said, we get to go to today's presidency before this, how it's going to go. The majority of the cabinet, the majority of the people are going to tell you that the world is round. But when you talk to the military people, the people that actually defend us, their whole defense is predicated on a flat map. Yeah. Your airport routes predicated on a flat map.
Yes.
You get what I mean? So that's why I say don't look so much into what people saying. Go by what they're doing and how they're living sometimes.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what the bigger picture is in this. Because let's disseminate this small increment at a time. So some people say that Hitler was one of the first people to travel down there.
Right.
Past Antarctica. Get what I'm saying?
Right.
So now, if we have all of this evidence, right? So let's say after you pass this wall, right, it becomes the temperatures rise, right? So now, if you're dealing with a being of people that have the tractor beam technology, I must say that them people know about us more than we know about them now. Because I need to pin that conversation right there before you go anywhere else. The point of that is this. When you say, well, we got to figure out what they know. No. They already know us. Like, all right, let me put it another way. Some people say that Earth is like a prison. And if they know about us, that means they're watching us, like a CO would do an inmate. So that means they know about us, but we don't know about them. Right. Obviously, they have better technology than us. They can control our airplanes. When we think we're flying free, they're showing you, no, you're not free, bro. Come here. I mean, they're taking you down. So that means they're more advanced than us.
Right.
So if we don't know about a more advanced being, who's to say that they already don't know about us?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What if they are the first line of defense for all the other lands behind them?
Right. We don't know how far the rabbit hole goes.
We have no idea. Go ahead, my brother.
We just don't know. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So like, and it's okay to say, yo, we don't know. That I think this is where the real issue lies. Like, people pretend as if they know, like they've been there. You know, they'll talk to you like, nah, like you dead ass wrong. They'll laugh at you, they'll ridicule you, ad hominems and the whole nine. And they ain't even been there. It's the same conversation when we talk about Egypt, when we talk about Kemen and stuff like that, and they tell you about the continent. Never been to Africa, never stepped foot on the continent, but they're gonna tell you everything about Africa. You know what I'm saying? As big as Africa is. And even the ones who have been there, that don't mean you know it all. You know how big it is? Like, just because you've been to New York don't mean you've been to Queens.
Yeah, how many you've been to Bronx? How many spots in your own city that there's streets that you never heard of?
Come on, in your own town. I know people, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, it's right there on Main Street. Where's Main Street? Oh, bro, it's right around the corner from you, bro. Oh. You know what I
got people telling me that never flew a plane. None of these people been pilots. But then when people say, oh, then I screen share a whole bunch of videos of pilots telling you that the world is flat. Now you're moving the goalpost to some other name, or now I'm whatever you want to call me. Now we're moving the goalpost to some other shit.
That's fact.
And that's why I say when they tell me, what do you know? I say, what I do know is that shit that we were taught in school. The older I get and the more I interact with people, I find out a lot of that shit was false.
Yes.
A lot of it was false. It don't matter,
right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we believe. What I believe is that they try to make me hate Jamaar, right? For his skin color, from where he's from, for his beliefs, for the way his hair grows, for maybe he's taller than me, shorter than me, whatever. You pick a reason. Right. That's on you, right? But now I interpret it like you want me to hate somebody I don't even know. Why do you want me to hate this person? I don't even know this person.
Right.
You get what I mean? Let me deal with the person individually. Don't give me this broad scope about this whole entire people that you don't even know because you didn't interact with everybody. So now this is what I say that to say this. Everybody's quick to throw under the bus of about what you call it, sourcing up, right? Where you get this map from? Who made this map? Who this? Who that? All right, bro. Forget the map. Forget all that. Yeah. How about we give you a person that was in the military telling you the same shit? That was an admiral that did not get he retired. There was no what's that shit called? The dishonorable discharge. He did not get that.
Right.
He got an honorable discharge.
There's no incentive for him to lie.
Yeah, he didn't get punished. He didn't get. They actually rewarded him.
Yeah.
He got, but we get to that after. But God.
Yeah. So you want to approach knowledge in the same way, family. You know, approach knowledge in the same way. You want to allow, you know, people to say what they need to say and listen. You don't have to subscribe to it to listen to it and to try to understand it, right? And everybody does not know it all. You know, you want to approach it with that attitude that you don't know it all and they don't know it all, right? And you can't allow someone to pigeonhole you or to try to ridicule you for what you don't know, because there's things that they don't know. So nobody is better than anybody in that space when we really look at it at the end of the day, because there's things that all of us don't know, right? So in terms of delving into this knowledge, it's a team game. It's a team sport. It's going to take more than one person. You know, you're not going to be able to do it all. So you're going to have to really put your pieces together and walk through different houses to find out the truth. It's not going to be sitting in one spot, in one building, in one book, in one brain. It's going to take all the different things that you've learned over the course of your life from other individuals and things that are happening around you to piece together what's really happening here. And people will give away what the truth is by how they move, by how your government moves, right? What they choose not to tell you as well, not just what they're telling you, what they choose not to talk about and tell you.
That's what I was about to touch on, that part, what they're choosing not to tell you. Because a lot of this stuff, I'm not going to say the information is easy to acquire. That's not what I am going to say. But what I am going to say is reasoning of why you got to jump through hoops. That's easy to acquire. All you got to do is think of somebody doing something wrong. You'd be like, okay, there's a few people, and then they say at the end, don't tell nobody. You are part of the nobody that's trying to figure out what happened. So this is why you got to go to different locations to try to figure it out, because part of it was, okay, boom. They say if you take out that reef, there's more. That's literally how they say it. If you take this reef out of this map, you will see more lands. They say it's the same map. If you take that, if you remove that, then from that, that's called the reefs. You might call it whatever, wings, whatever you want to. But if you remove that, those where the lands are, evidently. But even we can get into something different, because you don't want to show that map, and I get it.
So here you're looking at the flat Earth map. You're looking at the UN map. You might as well say it's a flat Earth map, because I want y'all to just take a look at this inner area here first, right? And look at where the continents are placed. Just looking at how they're placed, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop there. Just keep that imprint in your head of this logo. We're going to go to a flat Earth map, okay? You just saw that. Now we're going to go to a flat Earth map. I want y'all to see the difference here between the two. Really not that much different. It's identical. And when you look, when you see here, this circle of whiteness right here, that's the ice wall. This is the wreath right here, that surroundings. Okay. Now, the interesting thing about it also is that when you look at the UN logo gives you that opening, because they say the ice wall also has an opening to where you could go in and out during certain times of the year. This wall opens up.
I think there's three openings.
Yeah. So they say, yeah. You know,
they have names. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think one of the Leviathan, that's where they say they see that animal at. There's my bad, guy.
No, go ahead.
Nah, because now we're getting more into the map that you don't like. Because the map that you don't like actually has the names of the gates on the map. It says it.
So there's another map. It's not that I don't like the maps, and we're going to talk about that map. So Flat Earth has several different maps. And the reason why they're up for discussion, you know, is because we have to know who created the maps. My whole thing is about sources, right? We know that this particular emblem and what we're looking at right here comes from the UN. This is documented. The United Nations literally co-signs this. We know that this is what they're standing on, right? So if the whole United Nations is using this logo as their map, you have questions like, why are you showing us a flat earth map? Why are you showing us a two-dimensional map? Why didn't you show us a global image and have it wrapped around when you're showing a globe, the image on a globe? Why did you two-dimensionally define it versus four-dimensionally or three-dimensionally define it? So when we're looking at this, we can say that they clearly had to have understood what the flat earth map looked like, right? Like, why didn't you try to make that distinction that it's not the same thing? Because it's literally the same exact shape. When you look at that and you look at the flat earth map, it's literally the same exact thing. Like, they didn't change even the angle as to how the planets are laid out. Am I missing something here? They even put the longitude and latitude lines on there too. They didn't change a thing. Remember, family, it was flat earth before it was globe earth. It was flat earth first, that part. You remember when you take your test in school, they say, yo, your first answer is usually the right one. But we just going to leave that there. But either way, this is where we used to be, and then we changed it. Okay? Now, when we were given this, it was given to us in a package deal alongside the Bible as well. But ironically, the Bible does not depict images visually and textually of a globe earth. The Bible itself talks about a firmament and the four corners of the earth. So I don't know how this can be a Christian nation, but we are globalists.
How is that possible? Your globe goes against your entire religion.
It goes against everything that we stand for. If you go to court, it says, in God we trust. Well, God doesn't believe in a globe earth. God says the earth was set up on pillars. That's if we want to play the game. Y'all all know I don't deal with the religion stuff, but we can play the game. And even if we play the game, you still lose. Because I don't know how many times the Bible says the word firmament in it. You'd have to Google it. Let me pull it up. Just so y'all can see I ain't capping here.
Firmament, by definition,
actually
means you cannot go outer space up. By definition, it's telling you that there's something blocking you there that's clear. So now when your same people are told you to be a Christian, and then they tell you to believe in the globe, and then they tell you we're going to outer space that way. Two and three go against number one.
All right.
Don't forget that.
The Bible mentions the firmament 17 times. Okay. 17 times. Let's look at those 17 times that the Bible mentions. So when you start running into the Bible crazy Bible thumpers, we can start telling them, well, if you're a Christian, this is what it said. The Bible mentions the firmament, or rakia, a total of 17 times. And we can look up that word rakia in Strong's too, and I'm going to give you a resource for that. Primarily in the Old Testament. The Old Testament deals with the creation of the planet, yes? Genesis, right? The creation of the planet. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters. So we know that the firmament is something that divides the waters. Right?
So and God don't go nowhere. So look, the 6th, 7th, and 8th line of the Bible mentions the firmament. You don't even got to get to the 10th line. It's right in the beginning.
Into the good stuff yet. We're just talking about foundationally where we are. He's setting this is the setting, right? Every story has to have a setting. So whoever wrote this, back then, for you Bible thumpers, believes in a firmament. That firmament got to be attached to something.
They didn't think about that. They didn't think about the globe.
Definitely weren't forward thinkers back then. It says, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven, in the firmament. So we know that it has some depth to it. If you can put lights in it, right, it can contain some things. And let them be for the lights in the firmament of the heaven. And God sent them in the firmament of the heaven. Let the waters bring forth. Now, notice it didn't say he sent them to heaven. It says the firmament of the heaven. This is key, like the way that it's worded here. Because if they just wanted to say it was sent to heaven, we could say, okay, they just sent it to sky. No, they said the firmament of the heaven. So heaven and the firmament are two totally different things. This is showing you a separation here, right? Like, not for nothing, this is the phone of Jamaar. You see what I'm saying? It's not Jamaar. It's the phone of Jamaar. It's not the same thing.
Can we define the sentence?
What's that?
Can we define the sentence?
The centers?
The sentence.
Oh, the sentence.
So remember, the word sky don't exist at this time.
Let's go to
no. What I mean is the word sky don't exist. So when they telling you the firmament of the heaven, the firmament of the sky, because the word sky don't exist. So their word for sky would be the heavens up above, the heavens. So the firmament of the sky, what you're calling a sky, is what they used to say heavens for.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Heavens
that heavens,
sky,
you could, yeah, you can in 2025, you can remove heavens and put the word sky in there.
Yes. So
that's what I'm saying. Like define
separation between the skies and the firmament. It's two totally different things. And the word for firmament, as you can see here in Hebrew, is rakia. Okay, can y'all see that? Rakia. So what we're going to do, let me go into here real quick. I'm going to put this word in here. Let me share my screen. I'm going to show you another resource that I use. When you're using the Bible, right?
So we're not gang banging on nothing. We're just pointing out facts.
Yeah, these are resources.
That's all we doing. Yeah, we're not banging on nothing. We're just saying, yo, this person isn't the best. And this is why. That's all.
So this is a resource, family, that everybody should have, especially when you're dealing in these type of conversations, when people start bringing up Bible verses and all of that stuff. So you could get the proper context and the proper definitions of these words. Okay, so this is called the Blue Note, or Blue Letter Bible rather, .org. You can see here. This is the site that you want to go to when you want to find out more or in depth about a Bible verse, so that you don't get confused. So we're going to take the word rakia and we're going to put that in here. You see here it says search the Bible, King James Version, and then we're going to click here search and see if this word comes up. No concordance, right? So let's go back. And let's get the actual verse here, which is, let's go Genesis 1:6.
Yo, isn't this the actual definition of sourcing up on screen?
Yeah, we sourcing up here.
Okay, I just want to make sure, bro, because you hit me with that line. I didn't really know what it meant.
Y'all literally letting me source up here. And y'all watching me do this in real time. So as you see here, let there be a firmament, right? So what I did was, you're going to go in, type in your verse, and then you're going to type in you're going to click tools right here. Can y'all see that? Okay. And then you can go down, it'll give you the Hebrew, and now you can look at the actual word, which is a firmament, the phrase, right? You can actually look at it. You go into tools, look at the word, and it'll actually say it for you so you can pronounce it right.
Strong's H 7549.
Say it out loud.
Rakia.
But for the sake of this, I don't think it's going to transmit to you guys.
Rakia. That's what I heard. Rakia.
You heard it? You can hear it?
Yeah. Okay. I heard. Well, I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm not going to say Rakia.
7549.
Okay. But that's what it says. Rakia.
Rakia.
It literally breaks it down for you so you can say, the word the right way. You know what I mean? So you can see that what that means and, how that correlates. All of this stuff is important. English, it's a firmament. So we know which words that they use, how they were used, right? It breaks it down. And that's very, very important. So when we see that word being used, the word firmament, we have to say, okay, that's clearly not the same word that they're using for sky, for heavens, right? Let's go and look at the word. Let's try and find a verse that has the word heavens in it. Here we go, right here, heavens and earth. Let's go to tools.
They're telling you this is there, and it's because if it was the same, they wouldn't have two separate words for it.
It's two separate
It'd be
words.
the same word.
Heaven here, samayim.
Remember that back in the day, it's not like now where we have an abundance of words and not enough things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Back then they didn't have the words. There was too many things.
So you can look at that and tell that they're not talking about the same thing. Let's see if we can find, I don't know, a verse that has the word sky in it. Right? Sky, tools. Let's go down. The word sky is sahak. See? So we know that the firmament is a separate entity. Oh, y'all can't see it, can y'all? Hold
on. We're waiting for you to share the screen, my brother.
The word for sky is sahak. Can y'all see that? This is why this is a valuable tool. So now you can see that it's two different words. You see here the word on the sky, right? If we look at the verse here, on the sky, and then we go to tools, we go down to the word sky, it's sahak. Sahak. If we go back to heaven, it's samayim. That's heaven. You see? So you got to keep that in mind. So now when we know that these words don't mean the same thing, we know that they're clearly talking about something else, and we can't just box them together like the way globe heads try to do. Like, oh, the firmament, oh yeah, they're just talking about the sky. No, they're not. It's something totally different from the sky that separates the waters from the waters. What are they talking about? What specifically are they talking about? What could possibly separate waters? It would have to be something solid, right? Like, what are we using to separate the waters? And what waters are they speaking of? What waters are they speaking of?
How much further you want? How much more detail you want to go in? I got more information you can actually look up right now.
Yeah, we could keep going. We could keep going.
All right, so check this out. Look, I don't know what it's called. All right, so now there was missions back in the day that the U.S. military were sending missiles. Russia did the same thing, sending missiles straight up in the sky because they were like, we can't get through. They were saying that there's a barrier there, that this is public. This is in the. Yes. I just don't know how to look it up.
Yes,
where they're talking about
crack the dome. I believe that was called Project. What do they call that shit? Remember the shits that we used to shake back in the day that had the pause, that had the snowflakes in it?
The snow globes.
Yeah, it was something like that. Project Snow Globe, some shit like that.
Yeah, it was some shit like that. Yeah, the snow globes.
Yeah, let me look that up real quick. I'm gonna pull that resource up.
But this is the point, though, right? These are the same people that it's all the same. It's all right. This is the point. All this information is coming from the same source.
Yes,
you get it? It's the same people that taught you how to add in America. It's not how they add everywhere else. The metric scale is different. You get what I'm saying? We do pounds over here. They don't do pounds everywhere else. All of it. Even I really think that changing a definition of words, swapping I think all of that is relevant, because the more you try to say, I'm gonna figure out more about my lineage and my history and all this shit. Now you're gonna come up to words that have different definitions. You found it?
So yeah, that was Project Fishbowl.
Fishbowl. Oh, somebody wrote that in the thing too.
Yep. Project
Operation Fishbowl. Yeah, right there.
So they were trying to crack the firmament. Now, so you say, well, what is the firmament made of? In my studies, I found that the firmament could have been made of silica. Okay, 90% of the metals here, or I should say elements here, rather, not metals but elements here on Earth, is silica, and the tree of Mount Meru was made of silica as well. And if you go into certain spaces on the planet, you will find shards of the silica, the glass silica, on beaches that have washed up ashore. So I believe at some point in time we may have even cracked the firmament, and I wouldn't even put it past that maybe we completely cracked the firmament, and that could have been of what caused the flood, the Great Flood, which is why we have so much water here on our planet. It's 90-something% water too as well. You know, so there's a whole lot of different things that could have happened because we had several resets here. We've had mud floods that will require a lot of water.
That's part of it. They don't want to accept even the resets because you can't believe in both things.
Yeah,
they both cannot. It's one, the resets and all that is more towards the flat earth. That's not with the round model.
Yeah,
that your whole Bible believes in a firmament dome, and the dome was open and the waters came down. Well, where did these waters come from? If you look at that small rocket that goes in the air, there's one that's a small rocket, like a person shot it straight up in the air, and it sounded like that thing hit water, and it just stopped, and everything moved in slow motion.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's telling you by your own book that you told me to read in a way that you never thought that I would master. It's telling me to believe something that you're not projecting onto me. So now when they're like, you got to believe this and you have to believe that, you get these different definition of words, right? Then you get someone like an Admiral Byrd, which is the same person that works for the same source. You got an Admiral Byrd that what he's speaking about goes more in line with the flat earth model, because if you're on a globe, how are you going past Antarctica? That means it's not a wall. He made it seem like it's a wall, and like he just gained, like, all right, for a reference point for the new people, there's hidden maps on Call of Duty that when you hit the wall, you get to a whole new hidden map. This is where that whole concept comes from.
Yeah,
a hidden map. You got to have certain access, a certain key to even get to this map. So now, back in the day, they didn't have things to keep you warm like we have today.
Right.
They didn't have that. Like, you know how you got these electrical sweaters and you could get heat, like push up a button. Back in the day, they didn't have that. So people were being unalived on these ships because they couldn't handle the cold. They didn't have the interior of what they needed on these ships. They didn't have the proper, for a better way of phrasing it, technology like we have today. You can go over there in a submarine, fill it up with food, and temperature won't matter. You go down there in a submarine and you're going to see these holes in these walls, right? So now, to give pushback to your source, remember how, because I said this to you on the phone. Boom. I didn't think you were there. I'll take this one. I know the other one you definitely ain't going to pull up, but I'll take this one. This is good enough. I'll take that. I know when to take my whiz, brother. So check it out.
We're going to work our way out.
Perfect. So let's say, hold on. I just want to give a reference. Let's say this is whenever the internet came out, right? And let's say you and your friends are the first people to ever see this map. You guys upload that onto the internet. Now imagine how many other people across the world do that. So when they say source up, it's a whole bunch of conspiracy people putting it up. It's regular people like me and you saying, look at this map. They never taught us this shit. Now you're a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
You get them? That's how that works, because you're providing information that's not even being put out there. And you're like, look, how many other. So now there could be me, you, and our location, and then people around the world that's in the same situation doing the same thing. Now we're all conspiracy theorists. That's why when you're like source up, I'm like, with this thing, it's a little difficult because of what's been hidden. But my bad. Go ahead, brother.
So I want to go over this map because this is something that is important. This map is a map done by Gerardo Mercator, and Gerardo Mercator, he was the most famous cartographer that we have. He's the ones that gave us the longitude and latitude that we still use today. So those lines that we showed you that was on the UN map, and the lines that we showed you that was even on the flat Earth map, he's the one that invented the lines. Okay, so there's nobody more respected than this dude when it comes to map making. And this particular map, for me, no one has been able to debunk this. No one has been able to even put a rattle a little bit feathers when it comes to this, because this is actual historical document of the map that he created of Antarctica. Okay, So to give you some context on this dude as a reference before we really go into him, to this map rather, let me show you what he looks like. Gerardo Mercator. This is him looking like one of those Copernicus dudes. Okay, and you can see him with the compass, the masonry compass that you see that Freemasons have, right? You can see him with that. Let me get him out of here now.
I was gonna say something. What I didn't get about that picture,
Oh,
I didn't get why that yellow was so bright, why that blue was so bright, but the clothes he's wearing is like a whole different shade of a color. Did you notice that?
Yeah. So that yellow.
It just looked like some of them color. It looked like that globe might have been edited in real life type shit.
Well, it's colored in the same color scheme as the map that I just showed you. Let me show you.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So what's yellow on there is the yellow over here.
Those are the colors that they use for the map. Same exact brightness and everything. Okay. So now remember, that's a drawing. That's something that somebody just drew of him. It's not a picture.
A picture, a photograph.
Right, photograph. So now this particular map is showing Antarctica. And Antarctica has 4 islands on it. Y'all see the 4 islands, how it's broken up into 4 islands here? 1, 2, 3, 4. This island here is Pygmy Island. And then you have all these other the other 3 islands. Now, the interesting thing about it, what is it doing here?
Yeah, for some reason it's only showing. Yeah, there you go.
The interesting thing about it is how close the rest of the continents surrounding it are, such as America, which is this big one here on the left. That's America. Over here, this is Asia. Below that's Africa. And look how they're connected. They're all connected to each other. And this here will be the European islands. Scandinavia, Nova Scotia, Greenland. All this stuff is right here, right next to it. You can literally take a small boat to either or. So this corresponds to when people say, "Oh yeah, I'm indigenous to this land or that land, whatever it may be." Right? As you can see here, ancient map of the North Pole. So you telling me what, in 500 years we just separated completely, right? Everybody's just like eons and miles away in 500 years, just like that. Right? So something's not adding up in terms of history as to what the maps actually look like. We can see from the flight patterns going back and forth, the type of flights that they take when they're going from one country to the next, while they do these awkward movements of direction versus going straight to where they need to go. So this is the reason why the argument is still on the table as to what the true shape of the Earth is and whether there are additional lands past Antarctica. Because now we have an admiral and several people saying that they've traveled over there and they've seen something different than what is being told to us through news publications and things of that nature. So it's become a talking piece. But now everybody who's talking on this has not progressed to the level of what we're talking about. You understand? Everybody has not progressed to this level of conversation. Most of them are still stuck on, well, the boat, doesn't really go over the horizon. We could just binoculars and, we can see it again. So the Earth is flat. No, it's levels to this. Flat Earth does not mean you fall off the edge of the Earth. It doesn't mean that, the Earth doesn't have depth. It simply correlates to the idea that there may be more lands, extraterraneans, which is why we call aliens extraterrestrials, right? There's a difference between an alien and extraterrestrial.
Thank you. I was waiting for you to breach this. I wish you would have said this earlier, and because it's how you were phrasing it, and because we got to remember, back in the day, they were called aliens and UFOs. There's a reason why after Admiral Byrd's information, and when we got into more modern times, they changed the definition of what these words actually mean.
Yes.
Alien is not an alien no more. There's a reason for that, because the definition of alien meant somebody from out there. They're like, oh, these things ain't from out there. Hold up, we gotta rechange what this shit really means.
Come on.
So now exactly. Terrestrial means terra, means terrain, means land. These are all different, basically more land. And extra means more. Come on, brother. You got it on the screen. Let's get it.
This is important. We got to learn etymology, right? Remember I told you it's not going to come from one box. You got to have a whole lot of different bags, bro. You got to have a whole lot of different things in your package in order to understand what's being done to you. So if you don't understand basic etymology and what the word terra means, you're not going to pick up on it when they start using the word extraterrestrial. See? You won't pick up on it. That means beyond Earth. Beyond Earth. But the word terra means what? Land. Land. Notice they use the word beyond.
Hold on.
It's beyond.
Notice they use Earth after beyond. They didn't give you extra land, beyond the land.
Yeah.
They made you try to give it. Yeah, they're trying to attach you back to that globe model. So you can say, what do you mean beyond Earth? Yeah. It's outside the globe? No. If they would have told you this is beyond the lands, you would be like, hold up, you mean the land? And you would be pointing straight. You won't be pointing like out there towards Mars or some shit.
They want you pointing up there instead of over there. You understand? Over there.
Because check it out. Remember, back in the day, NASA started with water. People forget this. I think NASA went down there 1 or 2, 3 days, and then they redirected everything and said, we're going up now.
Yes.
Remember that. NASA started with trying to conquer the water. That's what they began. I'm guessing they saw some shit up there and said, we're going the opposite way now.
Yeah.
Now everything is up.
And if you notice everything that they do, even when they're rehearsing and even when they're practicing, they're always practicing in water. They're always practicing in water. You know what I'm saying? So they're giving away, like I told you, you can't go by what they say, go by what they do. You know? When you should have known something was up, the jig was up, when you heard one of the astronauts say that he got water in his joint and he almost drowned. Y'all don't believe me? Just Google it. But one of the astronauts almost drowned because he said while he was in space, he got water in his suit, he almost drowned. What water? Because it sounded like you know what the Bible said about separating the waters from the waters was accurate on that part. So should we do that or not?
Because even when they show us the video of your so-called astronauts, right? And they show the chick with her hair right here, right? Her hair standing straight up because it's outer space. There's no gravity and all this crazy shit, right? But what you don't catch on is that her hair is not freaking moving.
Yeah.
That shit is even just because there's no gravity don't mean it's not gonna flow. It's still that shit is stuck still like a hat. That shit is not going nowhere, man.
You got to pay attention to certain things. So family, what we're doing here, we're not telling you that the earth is flat. We're not telling you that the earth is a globe. What we are telling you is that there's information out there that you need to pay attention to, and don't write one or the other off. Keep an open mind, because let me tell you something. According to science and just basic things of what you know about shapes and geometry and how things come together, both could be actually right at the same time. You literally could have an area that is shaped in such a way that, the remote area that we're able to live in might be round, but the further you go off, because we don't know what's over there, the whole shape can change into something totally different.
So that's what I was going to tell you. Like the pyramid behind you, this is what this is a pyramid. If you put the pyramid on its side and we're right here on the side of the pyramid, this is flat. You would think we're on a flat surface, right? Yeah. But if you're big enough, you'd be like, look, it's a pyramid. Yeah. But since we're not big enough, we're just on this flat part of it. It could be anything. We could be on a square. Who knows? It's all I'm saying is that there's more information out there.
Yes.
And what if we start following this information?
Yeah.
So when you say, why would they want to? Okay. What if everybody as a people started following this information?
That's dangerous.
A lot of the infrastructure of the society will fall. People will stop going to work. people will start doing what they're naturally supposed to be doing, which is what it is not wanted to do, because this is why we get this programming that's here. Am I correct?
Yes. So if you
Because
want to know why, that would be the incentive. The incentive will be to maintain control, because this whole thing will go out of control if everybody knew this. Y'all see how it stopped our day enough to talk about it, and y'all lingering around here to see what's going on with the information, right? So you're obviously curious. You obviously want to know. Imagine if the whole world was on the same level as you are right now intellectually. Everybody would be doing the same thing. Like, yo, this just looks and sounds crazy. Like the pieces are starting to come together like something is wrong here. You know in your gut when something ain't right, when somebody lying to you and their actions aren't lining up with their words.
How about you changing that to you start to get that sensation in your gut saying, hold up, this is right here.
Yeah.
What we've been learning is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what that really means.
What we've been learning is wrong. And this stuff is, you know, right or wrong. It's very, very peculiar. It's very ironic. There's a lot of coincidences enough for me to go and research it enough. I don't have to make a stance on it. I don't have to subscribe to either one, but I can study both. Right? The hashtag for flat earth is research flat earth. It's not believe flat earth. It's research it. Why? Because even if we determine that the earth is not flat, we've uncovered other shit though. That there could be possible more lands. Yeah, it could be a sphere. It could be a sphere, but obviously the sphere that we thought we had is a lot larger than what we thought.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a whole lot of things you can uncover in the meantime, because you got to make sense of all of this land that these admirals are saying that they ran into, and you got to make sense of all.
You got to account for it. Yeah,
you got to account for it. So what was that? What was that?
Yeah, like the way they give us the depictions of these other Earths that are bigger than our Earth.
Yeah.
What if we are the biggest Earth? Pause, because this is another reason. Let me correlate this for you. For those of you who don't know, right? Because a person be like, no, I believe in Jesus Christ. He died on our cross for our sins and all of this, right? Now, they tell you they believe in globe. Well, the globe is a product of the Big Bang. That goes against your religion.
Package deal.
You get what I'm saying? All of the same people that tells you to believe in a certain religion, then they flood you with information that goes against said religion.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And this is all we're saying is that all this information is coming from one source that gives you credible shit, and then it'll give you a whole bunch of information that discredits the information they just gave you.
Right. Right. So whatever you're looking for in this day and age, you're going to be able to find information to reinforce that thought process, whether it's right, wrong, good, or bad. Whatever it is that you want to stand. This is why it's important not to stand on anything too firmly and to take all information in and sift through it, chew the meat, spit out the bones. Because if you take a stance, the way that these algorithms are set up, they're automatically going to feed you whatever it is that you're looking for. You understand? So you don't have to be right to get your perspective reinforced. You don't have to be right to galvanize people that think like you. You don't have to be right to not only do that, but to capitalize off of that as well. People have done it until you end up in a space with somebody who's right. That's when it falls apart. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's like speaking the theory of the speed of light to everybody and everybody agreeing with you. Yeah, it is the fastest thing until you find that one person that breaks down the speed of darkness.
Yeah.
Now your whole argument is a wrap.
Yeah.
You've been winning for 1,000 years. And they bust you with split your whole melon with the speed of darkness. You're like, wait, what? Exactly. And they're arguing the speed of light to distract you from realizing the speed of darkness.
That's the whole.
There's a whole nother level out there.
Perfect example. And that's because the religion, the Bible tells you that when darkness comes, when light comes, darkness must flee. Right. So it gave you an interpretation that you stood on, and you didn't realize that the speed of darkness is quicker than the speed of light, and it's darkness that actually carries light. If you look inside the universe, just look at the sky at nighttime. You see primarily darkness, not light. See what I'm saying? You see darkness. And you can't see light unless there is darkness adjacent. That's the way that it works. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it says, From the darkness, the light came. I mean, darkness was first. That's what that's telling you. The darkness was first.
Darkness was first.
You know what I'm saying? Don't never. That's the exact word. From light, the darkness came. That's how that. It depends on how far back you go. You go to the newer Bibles, they rearrange that sentence, but that's that. Remember, they spoke. Wow, the whole Puerto Rican in me just came out right there. Wow, they spoke in a different form. Yeah. They spoke like more like Spanglish. Spanish people speak. Some people say toilet paper, some say paper toilet.
Right.
Point made. You get what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, and even back then, they were more on the show us the proof and why. A lot of the stuff doesn't correlate with today, because today we have more words to define the pictures that they were trying to paint for us. Yeah. Words that they didn't have back then. So now, prime example, in the pyramids, they were hieroglyphs. That's how they call it, the pictures that were drawn. Mm-hmm. There was a reason. God,
there's no hieroglyphs in the pyramids, though. But go ahead.
Or around there, yeah. But that's the drawings. That's what they're called, hieroglyphs, correct? Mm-hmm. So now this is the way they spoke in their time to relay the message to today. Yes. Why? Why? Because maybe this animal wasn't called a bird in their time.
Right.
Maybe that animal was called something else. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So they're just drawing exactly what they see. Look, Banga, here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like we said, back in the day, the word flight does not exist. Flight, fly, that plane. Look at the way that plane is. You can't say that. So how can you say, yo, look at the way that spaceship is flying?
Right.
The word fly don't exist. Spaceship don't exist. Plane don't exist. None of that exists.
Yes.
You get me? And then we don't know the technology. So now, and this is the point. Let's say all this is true, right? Let's say we got all these foreign lands, right? Now we are really, so when you say why, now we really got to reanalyze our stories.
Yeah.
Because now a lot of this shit, when you might say alien, maybe this is a person from those lands that have higher technology than us. Yeah. Maybe some of these people defeated death. Maybe they don't, in some of these lands, the word death don't exist. To be unalive don't exist over there. Maybe some of these lands know what health is. Maybe some of these lands we're like this big. And maybe in some of these lands we are. Who knows is what the point is. We're going to have to reanalyze even the definition of the word God, what your belief of that is. Some people think a God is a being that's omnipotent, that knows everything.
Right.
Well, what if a God isn't a being at all and this earth and everything is God? What if all of it?
And many of the texts, if you read between the lines of the texts, they show you that the word God is used for an entity that is clearly quite human and has the limitations of a human, thinks and acts like a human, gets jealous.
What did he say to Adam and Eve? Yeah, what did he say to Adam and Eve? Why are you not wearing the clothes? Why are you hiding? Well, if he knows everything, why is he even asking that question?
Like, oh yeah, he's just asking just to ask, or he already knew what Adam was going to say and just they come up with the craziest, wildest of stories to try and separate God from being a human being. Clearly, everything that he did showcases that God is very much closely related to a human. At the end of the day. Even the tribal wars, like why would a God need you as a human within your tribe to fight against another tribe simply because that tribe doesn't believe that you exist, if that God doesn't have a dog in a fight of being human?
If I'm the creator of this universe, right, and I got these people that are talking shit to these other people saying that I don't exist, why don't I just snap my fingers and take them up out of here?
It makes absolutely no sense when you're all powerful and you're almighty, right?
And you know it all, so you knew this was gonna happen before you even create. Like, why? What's the purpose? Why would you say Adam and Eve had kids, right, and then their kids were these two sons? Well, who did their sons get married to?
Right.
Why ain't nobody asking these ways? Like, where do other people come from if you said it was just these two and they had kids and then they got married and then you mark Cain so the people outside of wherever you were don't harm? Well, who are the people that's harming them? You just said there was nobody else. What is going on here?
But you got to put 2 and 2 together, family, and it can't be spelled out for you all the time. Sometimes you just got to read between the lines and be like, "Yo, that doesn't make it makes absolutely no sense."
And then when they get mad when you ask the question is another red flag, bro. Go ahead.
Right. So once you establish that it doesn't make sense, then at that point you can now start asking the right questions. But once you believe or stand on something wholeheartedly and you're not going to accept any other outside challenging information, that's when it no longer becomes science and it just becomes spookism and religion. And you don't want to fall into that space when you're dealing with history or anything that has to deal with the historical record, because these things happen and it doesn't matter what religion you are. These things can also repeat. It doesn't matter what belief system that you have. History doesn't care about your belief system. It just does what it does. Okay. Now, with that being said, you can learn from things that are right as well as you can learn from things that are incorrect. Right. You can learn from things that have been interpreted wrong. So if you hear me use the Bible, it's not that I'm telling you that the Bible is 100% accurate. I'm definitely not telling you that. What I'm telling you is that there's an interpretation of it. And that interpretation is not what is widely accepted amongst the masses that people are running with right now. The actual, the overall theme of the Bible and what it's trying to explain. A lot of them people take things literally that they shouldn't, and a lot of people take things as symbolic that should be taken literal. So the proper understanding is important, because I've always told you the Bible is like a collection of books. It is not just one book. It is a collection of books over time from all different spaces, from all different perspectives of people who are talking about something that they weren't even alive to experience. just keep that in mind.
And remember, these books were put together and added to another book. Remember, the Torah was already there, and then they added the whole New Testament that was all a bunch of books put together. And then they added that to something that already existed.
And that wasn't to please God. That was so that he could please you guys, so that you guys could rock with the story. God didn't tell nobody to do nothing. They did that so that you could read it under a context that is good for you. Because trust and believe, if it did anything to harm mankind or make us go crazy, whatever, they took that out too. If they wasn't able to control you under the narrative, they taken it out. They did. So
yeah,
just
because even the proverbial bad guy in the Bible didn't hurt not one person.
Right.
The one that did all the unaliving in the Bible was supposed to be the good guy.
Right.
It's so much stuff that makes you want to say, I don't comprehend. And I really think that this is why I keep saying about the puzzle pieces. I think the Bible's a puzzle piece, and I think it needs more pieces to it. And even maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Because there's so much info. This is how I like to tell people. The Bible, let's say the Bible's a movie, right? Let's say the Bible's a 2-hour movie, right? And someone removes the most 45 minutes of the most important parts of the movie. And then somebody goes, explain this movie to me. And you're like, yo, but they removed 45 minutes of the most important parts of the movie. And they reply with, so what? I don't care. That's your problem. Explain this movie to me.
Yeah. That's how we've been living.
That's all we're saying.
That's literally how we've been living. That's how we've been living our entire lives. And some of us our ancestors have lived their entire life that way, not realizing that, they only got pieces of the puzzle. Somebody said, Detroit Down just said, I see the Bible looks like a compilation. It is a compilation. It's not even a question. So like now, if I gave you a compilation, right? Let's just think in terms of music. If I gave you a compilation of dope hip hop records, right? You might say, yo, this album is fire. It's got all the best stuff on it, right? But is it the original album? Then if I gave you like Ready to Die is Biggie Ready to Die, or Tupac's All Eyes on Me, right? The compilation is going to give you a different feel and interpretation as to the experience of that music, as opposed to if I gave you the actual album from Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, whatever it is, where that song is at. It's going to be the album is going to be a totally different theme than the compilation. You understand? So a lot of people are living their lives off of the compilation and haven't read the original texts. They don't. Yeah. They're taking things out of context. They think the overall
it's like a DJ Khaled.
It's not.
It's like a DJ Khaled putting an album together with a bunch of different artists instead of you going to the artists and listening to their rundown of the music.
Right.
I get totally. So the word is the word back then was canons. That's why they called it a canon. They put all that shit together. That's what it was called. Yo,
so Londa. Watch this. the word Canaan, the root word of it is these are the children of Cain. Right? Cain killed Abel. He was the bad guy.
You needed the bomb right there, bro.
Huh? We could do that. Huh? Was Cain not the one that went against God in the Bible? See, I know my text. Y'all can't play with me on this. Isn't Cain the one that went against God's word and he killed his own brother? And is that not the text that y'all are reading from, the Canaan? Even if we wanted to play around with y'all, we already know we on the losing team. You already know we with the bad guys. So it's like, where you want to go with this? You know, you gotta really study to show thyself approved. Most people won't know that they're reading from a Canaan Bible, and you're not even going. When you tell them they're reading from a Canaan Bible, they're like, okay, that's the accepted thing around here. All right, cool. Why is it accepted? Where did it come from? Who are these people? You know what I'm saying?
So stop it right there. Oh, stop it right there. Didn't he get banished from the garden? This is where you start to get your Canaan, because he was the one that was banished. This is how the information. It was him that was saying it. You get it? I don't think nobody. I haven't heard too many people say what you just said, and I don't think a lot of people correlated that.
And he's supposed to go out and procreate. Cain went out and procreated with who?
Exactly. With who? With who?
With who? Like you, it's just us. We the only family. Mom, dad, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. Who are you going and procreating with? So you already know there's pieces of the story that has not been told to you from its foundation from the beginning. So imagine you ever play a game of telephone. Imagine if the first person said it wrong before we even get to the end. You by the time you get to the end, bro, you so far off, you might as well not even play the game.
Somebody skydiving. Yeah, somebody skydiving off of a plane in ancient Egypt in the year 105. Yeah, way off.
We went from fucking I like ice cream to fucking we done flew from Mars and 6 virgins was on it. Like, you got a totally different story, bro. You're not lit. So it's like, yo, we got to tell people, like, yo, before you even delve into the Bible, delve into who the author is, the creator of the Bible. Delve into what version you're reading, King James. Understand he wrote books about demonology.
Other books. A lot of people don't even want to accept that. When they say this subject, they don't want to talk about that. You're the first person that want to talk about that with me. Like, thank you. What's the other book he wrote?
Demonology, a bestseller. You know what I'm saying? So the same guy that's trying to sell you on how to save your soul can also tell you how to cook your shit. He can tell you exactly how to do some soul cooking around here and to bring some demons about. He's an expert in both. So, you know, it behooves you to learn both sides of the ledger, but that's just me. You understand? If y'all liking this feed right now, I want y'all to like, share, comment. You know what I'm saying? If you got a question that you want on the screen, put it in the super chat. We're getting busy today. We're talking some real stuff today, man. You know? So yes, flat earth has levels. Okay. The discussion of the earth has levels. And when you're talking references, biblical texts, historical records, science, all of it has levels. And you got to understand that when they put something in front of you, and they try to destroy it, and it looks too easy, it's because they want it to look that way. You know, this is a deep subject. The flat earth subject is very, very deep, and it's something that is not that you could just take for face value really from anybody. You kind of got to do your own research so that you can connect the dots for yourself. Because from the time you were a child, hold on, let me show you something real quick. I want to show you how deep this should go.
Yeah, it's a whole thing behind it. People don't get it. Like, it's a lot.
I don't think
number one, the higher power wants togetherness. These are all topics that create separation. Yes. These are all topics that create which goes against. So now, like we say, if we have each other's puzzle pieces, right? That means the more we argue, the less we're gonna share our pieces. You get what I'm saying? The pause. The less we're gonna share our information to give ourselves clarity in our own reality. Yes. Because the more we go against each other, the more likely we are to not
put the pieces together.
And respect each other enough to share the information to be able to put the pieces together.
That's right.
You get me? Because that's a big thing. So now this is another part of, remember how he's saying there's levels to this, right? Even the type of individual you're trying to hold this conversation with, there's levels to that. Because if you're speaking to someone who's not intellectual, they're not going to want to receive you. If you're listening to someone who don't know how to communicate well, they're not even going to listen to you. They're just going to hear to respond.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? There's levels to everything, even the type of conversation. You know what I'm saying? Golden key, that's a whole fact, bro, on target. You know what I'm saying? On point with it. Because if let's say me and Jamaar could be some of the greatest people in the world, right? But since I might not agree with Jamar's total viewpoints on whatever, now part of my mind doesn't want to accept him, and now I start calling him derogatory names, shit that ain't good. Now we didn't go nowhere, right? But instead, we didn't do that. What you got to say, my brother? And he spoke it out. And look where we at today. What are we looking at here, my guy?
Something so simple, man. Something so simple.
The globe. I didn't notice that.
Listen, I don't think y'all understand how long y'all been programmed, man. I don't think you understand how deep this rabbit hole goes and how adamant they are to snatch up your brain and snatch it up early. From the moment your mama brought you home from the hospital, the first program was first for you to learn how to eat. The next program was for you to learn about outer space. They sat you in the crib and they put a mobile above your head and they make it spin so that you can develop at an early cognitive age that everything above you is spinning. They'll even hook up the sun, the moon, and the stars to it, the clouds, whatever needs to be there, so that when it's time for them to give you this program now, you'll be able to accept it with open arms. It's very, very easy for you to accept it because you've seen this before. Subconsciously, you've been programmed to accept this, no matter what. It's a part of who you are now. Do you understand how far this rabbit? You think it's so simple, but really it's a lot more in depth than you think. How long they've been doing this to you, family. They've been doing this to you for a long time. A long time.
Why don't you got some shit like that for adults?
Just look at what they put on the mobile. They could put a whole lot of things on the mobile. Why don't they put, I don't know, little characters with smiley faces and stuff jumping around? No, they put the sun, the moon, the stars, the clouds, space, rockets. They want you to think everything is just above you, just spinning, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You program the mind from the ages 0 to 7. Yeah, 0 to 7 is when you're in theta. Correct.
They've been programming you since you got here. But everybody thinks they're the exception, that, you know, they learn something more than what somebody else has learned. It's like, nah, you on the same program too. We just got to make it. I got to show you that you on the program in order for you to really wrap your head around it. You just like everybody else. You came home and they did the same thing to you. It's to the point now they even, they're giving these baby shots before they even leave. They sticking them with stuff. We don't know what's in there, bro. We don't know what it's doing to the brain, how it's making them dormant, boom, 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 or whatever you introduce to them at the first couple of years or whatever. It could make that more important than what you learn at a later age and stuff like that. How do we know they ain't do that to us? Watch this. I bet you can't tell me what you ate for dinner 2.5 weeks ago, but I bet you could still sing your ABCs. I bet you can still sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I bet you still know the national anthem. I bet you still know the Pledge of Allegiance. When's the last time you've been to class?
All them damn rituals.
It's not a program. It's not a program, but you can't remember what you ate 48 hours ago for lunch. It's not a program, though. All right. Listen. All we trying to do is say, yo, Start asking more questions. Stop taking things for face value all the time simply because it comes from the government, or it comes from a white man, or it becomes even from somebody that you admire. Do the due diligence. This is why I try to give y'all tools and sources so that even stuff that's coming from me, you could go and fact check. Go and fact check so you can see what I'm saying. If you find something contrary to that, let's put them together and let's talk about it. This is a safe space for everybody to come in and say what they want to say if they want to say it, you know? But by all means, you got to keep an open mind. You got to be able to look around and see like something ain't right, bro.
Oh, hold on. We got to put a little bit of parameters over that. You got to at least come up here and relay your objective state of mind in a respectable manner. You're not just going to come up here swearing all crazy. Whoa. And then put some parameters on that. Hold on. Yeah. You got to intellectually relay what you're saying and why what's your viewpoint and why. Not just come up here on some crazy shit.
Keep it respectful. Because it's an open, when you have a shared space like this, at the same time, we have to protect it, family. We can't just let anybody come in and start saying whatever they want to say and being disrespectful and all that good stuff. But if you learned something here today, make sure you smash that like, share, and subscribe button real quick. If you picked up a tool today that you didn't know existed that you could use, make sure you smash that like, share, subscribe button as well. And hit the bell so that you can be notified when we're coming on again. I'm excited for you. Brother said, I finally caught another live. He caught 2 in a row. He's excited. That's what's up. Run, tell that. Tell your family member, loved ones, and friends that we back on a daily basis. We're going to be dropping a little bit of knowledge for y'all. Like I said, the new record, I'm going to be dropping that too, the one that we played in the beginning of this. That's going to be coming out real soon.
Play that before you end the live, though.
We're going to end it with that for sure. What I also want to make sure I say, and we get out there, if you are a business, if you are a business on a grassroots level, small business owner, whatever it is, and you want your business promoted, whether you make clothes, I don't know, whether you do music, whatever it is that you do, reach out to us. If you want promo on the feed, if you support this channel, we want to support you. So definitely hit us up for that, because we're looking for sponsors as well, and we're going to show you love as well and make sure that we get you out there. Upcoming, some of the things we're going to be talking about. I have some of the things that we have lined up already. I have a couple of individuals that's going to come on here. We're going to be talking about frequencies and vibrations within the body, energy work, things like Reiki, and things of that nature, yoga, eating right, all these type of subject matters we're going to be getting into, because this is what the people want to talk about. So we're going to stay there in this pocket. I appreciate y'all for coming on. Fifth, what's the word?
You know what's the word, man? We progressing, elevating, just keep reaching to higher frequencies. No spinning the block on no negative. You know what it is, man? We building something that a lot of people, they're going to sit back and watch. And when we provide all this great information, we're going to receive the response that is supposed to get, because we're not coming at this with no crazy narrative. We're not doing that. We're providing the information that maybe was kept from you. Maybe this will help you in real time. Who knows? But you know what it is, bro. How do you say? Each one teach one, right?
Each one teach one. Absolutely. And, there are things that we may uncover, other people may not have. And there are things that they may uncover that we haven't. So what we want to do is we want to bring it all on the table and discuss it. We're in the age of information. And anytime you come into a space of information, you're also going to come into a space of confusion. And that's why you have to have these conversations. That's why people have to come together and say what it is they found. What else we got going on? A lot with the Super Bowls. People still breaking down the interpretations of Kendrick Lamar. Make sure y'all check out last video of the breakdown. Some of you may not be able to find it, but it will be coming back up because we had to make some edits on it due to copyright issues and things of that nature for the NFL. But definitely go and check that video out where we break down the symbolism in Kendrick Lamar's halftime of performance. We're definitely going to be talking some politics too in the future. Things that's going on with the president. He's doing a lot of signing off. A lot of things are going on. Democrats and Republicans going at each other's necks, going back and crazy. Seen a whole lot of crashing out. Golden Key said, how can I reach you, Jamaar, regarding funding and to build with you, etc. You can just inbox me. You can hit me on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is flashing across the screen down at the bottom at Jamaar. Okay, or you can hit me on Facebook, Jamaar A. Milton on Facebook.
And you got that Gmail down there too. At the lighthouse, you got all that. You got his information right. You can actually, his name Jamaar Milton is the name of his social media. My bad, I just hijacked your shit real quick. So his IG, his Facebook, and his YouTube is under the same name. He got the Gmail right there, so you could definitely reach out, Golden Key.
And that's my personal email. Okay, the Lighthouse one, that's the business email. Okay, as we build, or I can refer you where to go. The easiest way to contact me is through like Instagram if you want to message me. Or Facebook. But if you want to send an email, you can do that too as well. Okay. Anything else you want to say, Fifth?
Make sure you smash that like button. Share this to all your social media platforms, man. When we coming back on to give them another episode? How we doing this, my brother?
We'll be back mañana, man. We're gonna come right back with it. Just expect us at some point during the day, on a daily basis. We're gonna keep pumping y'all with these classes. Brother Sanchez is in the building. I see you, bro. If y'all know who Brother Sanchez is, he is in my opinion the forefront scholar on flat Earth.
Brother Sanchez?
Yes. I've been rocking with Brother Sanchez for a very, very long time. Since
day one. He need to holler at you.
Since I came on YouTube, I've been rocking with Brother Sanchez. So we want to support his channel. He supports us. I'm actually an admin still on his channel, a moderator rather. So we definitely want to support his channel too as well. If you want more information on flat Earth, if you like to delve more into this, because we're going to delve more into just flat Earth, into not just flat Earth, but other things too. But if you wanted to really delve into flat Earth specifically, I highly advise tuning into Brother Sanchez's channel.
I would love to have a discussion with him about that, like just to have questions and see what answers he come up with.
Hey, bro, you want to come on the show? That's what we're gonna do. We'll bring Brother Sanchez on the show. It's not even a question. We're gonna have you on the show. There's no in this. You can't say no.
Yeah, maybe he could provide better or different type of answers to what we said. But hold up, go back to the response to the Golden Key. Go the one above that. The last Golden Key response. Yeah, that one. Look at that one.
Our flip book and how we can build. Okay. We got you covered on funding and building out the platform. You're a real one. Absolutely. Say less. We'll definitely chop it up. Yeah, we're going to bring Brother Sanchez on here for sure. He already said you want to come on. You already know it is what it is. So we're looking to do that. I'm back, Brother Sanchez. I've been out for a minute, but we back, baby. It's up. So you already know. Brother Sanchez already saying he got the support. So it's a positive atmosphere over here. We're going to keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So we got you. So hopefully within the week, we could get you on here. You know what I mean? For sure.
That'll be cool because you're saying that he's an expertise in the flat Earth theory. Is that what you're saying?
I look at him as an expert. I look at it as somebody who's done it long enough that he can consider himself an expert without a doubt. He's scholarship circles.
So he's for the flat Earth or he's against it?
For it, 100%.
For it? Oh, snap. It's on. Like he just said, it's on. Oh, snap.
Like I would have preferred that dude, Dave or whatever, had that conversation with Brother Sanchez.
Oh, the one that went out with Lord Jamaar. So you think that Brother Sanchez would have had better? He would have been better prepared for the argument.
No question. I'm not even questioning.
But I don't know if I told you, but I think I thought I told you. I felt like that whole thing was orchestrated to put Lord Jamaar at a certain frequency. So when the questions came in, he was already up there. But that's a whole we can get into that if you want, but that's something totally different.
Yeah. We got a little bit of background knowledge because of my relationship with Lord Jamaar. But at the end of the day, if I had to pick somebody who's a flat Earth, like Lord Jamaar will probably tell you, like I know a lot more about flat Earth than he does. I know more about it than he does. I've been in it longer than him. You know what I mean? But if we had to compare the two between him and Brother Sanchez, without a doubt, Brother Sanchez will be able to kill that. You know what I'm saying? Like
because honestly, somebody told So when I was promoting, let me take that back. When we were promoting what we're doing on my channel, remember that first day that I was like, yo, we're taking a different turn. We're gonna try something different. People were saying that if I could get that dude on the channel, that he's receptive to it. Like he's willing to debate almost anybody and everybody on the flat Earth thing is what I'm saying. That Professor Dave guy, I guess.
I'm sure he is. The thing that you have to realize is that these people rely on science, right? And in order for you to even talk their language, Well, in order for you to even have a conversation, you have to talk your language. You know what I'm saying? So, well, what Brother Sanchez is saying is that he didn't like how our people responded to it. You know what I mean? To the incident with Lord Jamaar, the people's reaction.
What do you mean responded? How give me a little bit more.
Well, you know, it was mostly negative. It was mostly negative. A lot of people feel like he bombed and stuff like that. You know, to each his own. Everybody has their perspective, and a lot of people did not like it. You know, I would have liked it better had we had somebody like I said, Brother Sanchez there, somebody who's an expert in it, because you're putting an expert over somebody who's literally novice, and you're expecting him to hold his own. I wouldn't have done it that way. So that's the only disingenuous thing that I saw that about Godfrey that I wasn't feeling, because he knows that too. Godfrey's not an idiot. Like, to be a comedian, you got to be kind of smart.
You have to be strategic to be a comedian. Yeah. You have to be a spinologist, and that's what I say, because they give you information out of order on purpose.
Yeah,
they tell you that Professor Dave had been talking bad shit about Lord Jamaar, right? But none of that matters because Lord Jamaar didn't see it. But then 30 seconds before the video, you see Lord Jamaar saying F Professor Dave, and they don't let him explain why. Yeah. Because I'm guessing they showed him that shit 30 seconds before, and that's what I was saying. They put him at that negative frequency. Yeah. So when them hot questions came in, pause, he's already in that. And what we
that was the
cooler minds always prevail.
Yeah,
you get what I mean. So, and that's why you think that Brother Sanchez would have been better, because he wouldn't allow that to affect him in that manner before the topic.
He'd have been what you saying, brother. Well, Brother Sanchez has more information. I already know that, just on his noggin freely, that he could just spit out, and he's organized, so he has it all. Like he can literally pull it up. If we share Brother Sanchez's screen and allow him to just do his thing and talk through some things, it's a totally different response. Like, he's gonna have to give him a run for his money. That's for sure. It's not.
So I guess I'm gonna have to check who this Professor or Brother Sanchez. I was about to call him Professor Sanchez.
And he did.
What you just said?
Sanchez did a video on Dave too, right afterwards too, like within a day or so. He was So yeah. So as far as Flat Earth, we have that resource too as well, which is a beautiful thing. Do all the Brother Sanchez for chiming in. I was not expecting that. But shout out to him. Been a long time supporter, and he's a good dude. So with that being said, I cannot wait for the future and what it has to hold. Sanchez, I had to fall back for a little minute, man. That's the reason why I ain't been around. As you see, we had a lot of leaders that we had to wait for the smoke to clear. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no names. Majority of them are in jail serving sentences. I had to make sure that I separate myself from those brands. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to separate myself and disappear from YouTube for a little minute. But we back full steam. Me and my brother Fifth here, and the rest of the community, the Lighthouse community, and the community that we built in here. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So I'm looking forward to work with you in the future, as well as other people. Golden Key, I got your message, and you can hit me up. We could chop it up and make things happen. So with that being said, family, like I said, if you are a business on a grassroots level and you want to get cracking and you want to join with us, tap in with me if you need that. I love y'all. May the divine fifth, may the divine force in me greet the divine force in you. May he manifest every heart's desire. Ashe. Fifth, is there anything that you want to say?
Man, just keep doing your thing and stay in that positive frequency no matter what. And this is the main thing, and I keep saying this over and over again. Remember, you're the creator of your reality. You're not a victim of it. Don't let nobody else project their victim mentality onto you. Adhere to the God and or goddess in you and create your happiness, because that comes from within. Nothing on the outside can make you happy. Only you can. I believe in you, not believe in yourself.
Absolutely. So we're going to go out with Yet featuring Snooze Daily. If y'all like this record, y'all let me know when I should drop it. All right, let's bang out.
Too hot for you to get. Top-notch Buddha says. I rock, who is next? Do your best. Far as rock, yep, stocks I do invest. Comedic God body with the Shaka Zulu chest. Give a rat's ass who you get. Don't let the koofy fool you. I'm no sci-fi Hulu bet. I ain't new to this. Let her do that bullshit or that you do, yeah. Or that you do, yeah. Get to do that bullshit or that you do, yeah, yeah. A-I-J, call it a spade here. Did a movie, hit the chart, still move like I ain't care. Yeah, body the Apollo if you ain't here. First rapper on the Nile, it's all in the same year. Goofy motherfuckers got the right one. Main one to bring the pressure to the icons when I write on. The investment looking bright on. Tell Jada Applejack Soggy got the bites on. Now your main thing bending like a body broke. Cause the slow flow motherfucking diabolical. Bet against J-Boy, that's a foolish bet. Still ain't do that bullshit or that you do, yeah. Or that you do, yeah. Still ain't do that bullshit or that you do, yeah. Or that you do, yeah. Still ain't do that bullshit or that you do, yeah.
Tribe colors, the man in the mirror. Stayed on my grind, now the vision more clearer. New day coming, new sound of the funky drummer. OG vibes moving weight in my slumber. Lyrically crash out, still keep it humble. Devin Hester, running back, no fumble. Strong arm the stage, move weight with pure muscle. Aim is to touch you, black out, no stunt double. Pivot the block, my ambition is to bubble. Upgrade the Porsche, still living it subtle. Stack dough as the team breaks the huddle. In my prime, so it's myself and the hustle. Make commas move zeros. Now I got the cheat code. Mistress on 6-way fade for all heroes. Warriors vibe, chilling my ancestors fly. We the hottest motherfuckers alive.